Hi, it's Paul Ryan, show number 52 in our series. Last week I did a condensed version of some of the main events that shaped music in the past. But what about the future? What's that going to look like in music? All right, nobody can predict the future, right? But today I'm going to wrap up the shows by taking a look ahead with a few bold predictions. From a musician or label perspective, creating fan awareness will become a huge element of marketing. It has to. There are 99,000 songs being uploaded daily. That's 36 million per year. And that's just current time. Like, what about 10 years from now? Anyway, cutting through that has got to become a necessity just to survive. And that is going to exacerbate the current feeling by many music consumers that finding music and artists that they like is difficult. At the same time, the way that the human brain processes music isn't going to change. So songs containing similar elements to those that we covered, they're going to continue to be liked. So with those two big points in mind, I'll cover two areas: things that will change and things that probably won't change. Will change. New musical styles are going to evolve. We covered Martin guitars and the invention of the flat-top dreadnought, the Gibson Mastertone banjo, Taylor guitars, and their innovations. So along the way, there have been artists who have taken these instruments and changed music forever. Songwriting's going to change too. In one show, I looked at the current common musical forms. Will they still be the standard in 10, 100 years? Probably not. Within the music industry itself too, this is going to evolve. Once upon a time, record labels were king. Today, it's streaming and DSPs. So that model's going to evolve. How? Hard to say, but decades from now, you could see that AI or some related technology is going to once again come along and change things. Can't yet see the impact or the role of AI and technology, but it's going to change. Something's going to change. Okay, those are things that I think that will change. How about things that won't change? I spent a few shows discussing how embellishments to a song tend to make it like a, quote, friend to the listener. I believe that's not going to change. The most creative music, any genre, is going to continue to contain those elements. When it does come to AI, honestly, I can't see the technology pushing songwriters or musicians out. Technology might change the music landscape. It's big, and creatively it's certainly one way. But, and it's a big one, how can it replace the inspiration that can come from great songwriting? One example we discussed in one of our sessions, and we played an audio clip on that, is that song 25 or 6 to 4. How can you bottle up the creativity that went into that and put that in an algorithm that will change it again? That song came out of nowhere, literally nowhere. Guy was sitting in a room and it just came. That was the human brain wandering and searching for an entry point and a creative pathway into a brand new musical topic. Look, I could be wrong, and maybe there won't be any musicians around in 100 years. I just don't see it personally. However, as a time-saving tool for songwriters, producers, musicians, yeah, AI is going to be really great, I think. Another area that won't change is the evolution of great new musical creations. It's been with us since BC, and it's going to continue. So be prepared in the future to be dazzled by some of tomorrow's great artists. Thank you so much for listening to my show. Have a good day.
That was an interesting look at the world of music, right? Okay, now it's time for one of Paul's songs. Paul, over to you.
And this week's song is called The Old 29. It's been quite a while since railroads and trains were the common way to get around and for people to travel. But I wrote this song from a melancholic, reflective perspective of someone who visits an old train depot location that they knew when they were much younger. Hope you enjoy it. Here comes The Old 29.
There's a fast food place where the people used to wait. There's a street now where the rails used to be. A blackbird is picking at something on the ground as he sits there in the bushes and the weeds. I remember playing catch down near the gate. It seemed like those summers didn't end. The depot still stands there, but it's broken and faded. It was third base back then. Whatever happened to the old 29? Anybody know? She'd rumble in from somewhere, then rumble out again. One thing's for sure, she's not coming through here anymore. A misty-eyed young man, barely 18 years old, said his goodbyes from that train. He was off to the city to find his own way, seeking his fortune and fame. The years have passed by, that seems a lifetime ago. But that boy, he's sitting here today. He strums his guitar while he looks for the tracks where he and his buddies once played. Whatever happened to the old 29? Anybody know? She'd rumble in from somewhere, then rumble out again. One thing's for sure, one thing's for sure, she's not coming through here anymore.
It's been over a year now since Freddie Spaghetti's musical career took off. The new deal with Delta is beginning to work out. Delroy loves what Bob Hackett is able to bring, and Freddie has performed at the first 3 shows together with the band. However, the transition wasn't seamless. At first, without Freddie, the audience did dwindle. It dried up a bit. But Delroy stepped in and dressed up the act. He began by having the band all dressed alike, similar to what the old folkies used to do. Next, he brought in a comedian who joined the shows as an introductory kind of MC and comedian type of role. It worked. Before long, the audiences began to return, and whenever Freddie joined the show, it was a guaranteed big hall sellout. Britt is happy. She enjoys the new position, and like Freddie, the house gives her a place to relax. She works remotely much of the time and pretty much can control her schedule. Her clientele is largely comprised of veterinarians who have questions and concerns about animals they're treating, and when Brett travels to the office, it's within an hour. Freddie sits in a lawn chair gazing at the pond. A duck flies by and settles itself on the water, shaking all the water off once it lands. Freddie thinks about this beautiful situation that is all his, and all the struggles that accompanied his sudden rise in music. And now a brand new chapter is beginning. Propped up against a young tree and right beside him, where Freddie sits, is his Martin guitar. The case is a bit worn now, and the guitar, well, it does have the odd scratch. But all in all, it looks pretty good. He reaches over, unclasps the case, pulls the guitar out and rests it on his lap, begins to strum a few chords. An hour or so later, lyrics follow, and a brand new song is being born. Freddie is at home. The end. This is Paul Ryan, signing off. Check me out online. We're on most of the online record stores, so please check me out at Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and Shazam, Pandora, Tidal, Bandcamp, Amazon Music, Deezer, and others. On the social media side, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. You can find me at any of those. And of course, at the RyanTunes.com website. The best way to get in touch is via the website, RyanTunes.com, or email RyanTunesMedia@gmail.com.